Hi, Jennifer. Hello, Victoria. Happy Saturday to everyone. Come on in. Let the droves just come in. Come in. Have a seat. Get you some snacks. Get a little beverage. We're going to talk about some weird shit like we do every Saturday night. There's Evil Ghost. Hello, Evil Ghost. Have pint and peace. Hi, y'all. Hi, y'all. What's going on, y'all? I like my accent. There's Warrior Grandma and there's Deborah. Oh, I love seeing y'all pile in here. I love it. Let me. So I'm gonna throw out. Hey, Vicky. Hey, Olivia. I'm going to in a little bit put a. Hey, Clancy, my sweet. Put the link. Oh, I guess I could do it in there. Well, let's just try to do it this way. Let's just try to do it this way. Hold the fuck on a minute. I really need a staff. Hey, Dreamer. Hey, Rumor. Rumor has it. I love that Adele song. Oh my God, I love that Adele song. Let's see. Me. Oh, me. There's me. Let me see. Always F this up. Hey, Tracy. Cat, go to bed. Cat is sick. Go to bed. But I love you, but go to bed. Let me see. What do I always do? How do I fuck this up? Wait a minute. Nope. I don't know how I'm going to fuck it up. I'm going to fuck it up. Anyway, we'll figure it out later. Yeah, go to bed. You heard your mother. Go to bed. But I love you. My husband, let me tell you what he does every Saturday night. I start getting ready. It depends. I mean, I'm going slowly, right? So I might start at 6:30, maybe 7, do a deep condition, take a shower, then do my hair, and then pick out what I'm going to wear, Care Bear. And then I come downstairs, and then I put on my makeup, and I watch British comedies or Hulu or whatever while I'm down here. And I'll go back and forth, right, until 9. I'll just, if I need to go upstairs, I'll go upstairs. And if I not, I'll, every single week, every single Saturday night, my husband will go, I will be downstairs. I would have been down here for 1 minute, maybe let's go 6 minutes. And I would go back upstairs and he'd go, how'd it go? You mean, how did it go? None yet. Oh, sorry. And then I'll, again, go back and forth. I'm killing time. Again, he'll say when I go upstairs, how'd it go? They went great. The military, see, someone likes military history, my favorite. Dad's Army is good. There's so many good British comedies. I have BritBox, and it is probably my very favorite thing to watch. Dante, how are you? Oh, we're good. We got a good one tonight. We always kind of have a good one. But this 8-Day Bride happened in 1947 is weird. And it's just weird. And there are only like a couple of theories that we could have. I mean, there's, and as I tell the story, y'all will go like, oh, yeah, it's really strange. And I tried to knew, like, okay, so I was, I've done the outlines. So let me just do the outlines, right? And that'll help me. I have ADD, nothing helps me. Because I'll get going, y'all know, because my grandpa was a Marine in Korea. well, I listen, like I said, well, not being vintage, but like all British comedies from the 60s, 70s, 80s, they're hilarious. Hey, Freeside, my sweet. Hey, Flash. Hello. All right, I'll speak louder, Flash, while you're mopping. What was I gonna say? I don't know what I was gonna say. I'm sure it's gonna be something funny, but I don't remember. Sorry, I don't remember. I don't remember. Anyway, this story is weird. I love them weird. And then what the thing is, and then I'm gonna, we talk about the missing children. I really wanted to do Kiron Horman because, his stepmother, Terry, was the last person to see him. And so, obviously, it's not it's old enough. God knows. Him and my son would be the same age. He was born in 02, like my son. So he'd be 22 at this point. He was 7 when he went, all right, how are you? Okay, I'm so glad y'all made it back. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, yeah, this is just an odd one. Oh, I know what I was saying. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna do a outline form, and I'll just refer to the outline with my notes. And I did really good until page 3. Hey, Halloween baby. Halloween baby, last week you gifted memberships, excuse me, and I did not see it. And thank you so much. Oh, yeah, the stepmom knows. But is it Georgia? Okay, I didn't know. So Georgia, thank you. There's still block 1. Hey, hey, rapper, how are y'all? Yeah, so anyway, page 3. I did really good until page 3. And then here I go again. Y'all know, I'm telling you, I got a problem. I have a big problem. Because I always try to stay on task, but I never quite do it. And y'all know that. The facts are the facts. When you get something that this old, 1947, you're not going to find any new information, right? It's not going to be any new information. You just hope you find all the information that's available, which I'm pretty sure I have. And then I'll make the mistake to go to Reddit. Reddit is not my friend because there you don't really have to have any facts, right? You don't have to go in there with any facts at all. You can just make a thread about 8-Day Bride and just make shit up, right? And people will go, oh, yeah. So on Reddit, there are a lot of there's a lot of theories on how this whole thing happened. I don't know which one is, I don't know. Y'all will tell me. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, Reddit is not my friend. I get on there and it's like people on TikTok, right? They say, oh, if you ever go to TikTok, you just go down a rabbit hole. You won't, No, I am that way with Reddit. I will go and I will find every thread and they will make no sense at all. And I'll start reading somebody's post on Reddit and think, well, I didn't see any of that information when I looked other places. And then I'll get on that and it ain't good. It ain't good. But this one's gonna be good. So we'll just wait. Everybody, I know it's been a busy week here on the YouTubes. We've had Hey Okie. We have had I got y'all from 2 different or maybe even 3 different communities. So we have we'll call it the drama, like my hometown, the drama. And that's with Jenny Jen Jen, Flavor, Paige, all of them. And they cover mainly Michelle Sabat and Bombshell Reloaded. All right. But there's been movement there too on different things. And then we have I don't even know what to call it. It's like my new home. I was in drama and then I moved to a new drama address. And we've had Jimbo and Thelma, and I did do a slow parody of him. Thank you, Tracy. So that's been a little dramaful, and I think right now, still discussing Jimbo. And then I have just like my core people who, I don't know where y'all go because no one's, you're there. I always call them my 300. I got those 300 people that, I don't know where you go, but I'm glad you're here tonight, or, we'll be watching tomorrow. So it's been a little hectic on the streets. Tracy. I love, I haven't been moved to do a parody in a long time just because it was like the same old shit all the time. There's nothing funny about it. But that damn Jimbo and that dog, that's hilarious. I am so sorry. I am sorry. But they are going to jail for stealing a dog. I'm sorry. That is comedy gold. And then begging from, well, they didn't beg. They hunt. Well, no, they do beg, though, don't they? Let me think. They do beg. They beg. Sorry, but there's traitors. Don't fuck with traitors, people, because she will have you arrested for crimes that you commit. All right? Don't get me wrong. She ain't going to pin something on you that you ain't done. You ain't dead. But she will absolutely get that legal ball rolling if you piss her off. That's why I love her. She gives no shits. No shits. Does traitors get traitors? But God, she's so funny. Traitors, you were so funny, and you were so brilliant. And like, I will think I have assessed a situation, pretty accurately, and then you'll go live and talk about it. And one, I'll think, okay, yeah, I'm okay. Well, I'm right. Me and traders agree. And then you go off on something else. You take a turn that I was not aware, and then I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I can't do it anymore. So yeah. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna do. There was if y'all don't know who Michelle Sabat is, Michelle Sabat is a weirdo, and she lives in, I think, Georgia, and she she about 7 DUIs. I'm not really sure. Ex escort, drunk, being thrown out of her second husband's home. I think, I'm not sure how many husbands she's had. She's getting. They're trying. I mean, Georgia cannot get her out of that house. The judges said get out. The police have said get out. She ain't going nowhere. She did a Cheyenne. Oh, she did a stream last week where she was in the tub. Her tub. Well, not her tub, but the tub that's in the house that Thank You Flash is for. She did a video, live. She is in the tub. And I thought about that all week long. Not because I'm a creep, because I was trying to figure out how to simulate froth. Because she put Dawn dishwashing detergent in the tub, so it was like thick and white, right? And so I'm thinking, okay, how can I recreate that to do a parody on it? And I figured it out. I figured it out. Dave Foss, that was you. I figured it out today. No, well, like a day or two ago. So that's going to be happening. I just have to find a ratty fucking wig, right? A ratty dark wig and some really thick glasses. And I got her, baby. We gonna nail her. You like my body? She's got the figure of an 8-year-old boy. I'm sorry, but she does. And she's just horrible. I know. I don't know about the band-aids. That shit's gonna hurt, but don't worry, I got to figure it out. I figured it out today, and it was something that I already had. And hey, Rain Girl, she was in Dawn dishwash. She put Dawn dishwashing detergent in the garden tub. For sure. Oh, the widow speak. You gotta have that. Come on. So I don't know if I can't do it live. I cannot do it live. I will laugh the whole time. But if when Catherine feels better, she's gonna have to direct. She's gonna have to, she'll be producer, co-producer, director, writing probably, because hey, Crazy Train, she makes me write when me and Catherine, when Catherine films me doing a parody, she makes me do a script. No, Tracy, you can listen. YouTube will either nip it. Hey, Mark will either nip it in the bud, right? In fact, let me see if I have that. I'm gonna show y'all. Hold on. Oh, I hope y'all can hear this. I don't know if you can. I watched this the other day. and I laughed so hard. Oh, where is it? Oh no, where is it? It's okay. I'll get it back. All right, I don't know where it is. I don't have it right now, but I got a clip of Barney. Knip it in. See, I call Ski Mask Andy. I really do call him Skid Mark Andy because I thought that was his name. Honest to God, I thought that what's his name? Ski Mask Andy. I sincerely thought it was Skid Mark Andy. And so I called him that. Excuse me, for a while, and I realized it wasn't his name, but I don't care. It's gonna stick. If I can't, Mark, I'm gonna draw one. Yeah, so Catherine makes me write sketch like scripts, and I can't do that. I mean, I can't do it. I try, but I can't. And then like when I watched back the one I did about Jimbo, I don't even remember what I say now. You're not late. Oh no. I did not know exactly what I said, and I still have this. This a dog. I still have this here. So I'll sign this and we'll be auctioning it off for big money. Not really. But anyway. Well, see, I don't ever watch him, Mark. So, I Smoky P is in the house. That's my Smoky P. Smoky P, I was just telling him I'm going to do a Michelle parody of her in the tub this week. Look for it or don't. I don't know what to tell you. I'm simulating. I found exactly how to simulate the bubble. So that's going to happen. And I'm sure that Catherine will make me write a script and I can't do it. He's in the movie. I believe it. No, I get it. He is for sure. I mean, I've seen like bits and pieces of him. And I know that right now he is homeless too. So like I said, I mean, why can't she move in with Skid Mark? They can have, 2 adjoining bushes where they live. Oh, it's going to be funny. It's going to be funny, Smoky P. All right. These are my plans. I've got anti-lock brakes. Skid Mark Andy. I can't help it. That's what I always called him. I can't help it. I can't help it. Okay, let's start, shall we? I had a clapboard, but I don't know what happened to it. I mean, he was thinking about Michelle's tub performance, and she kept trying to blow it. Tennessee Honey. When I watched it, I can't remember if Jenny showed it or if Flavor showed it. I can't remember. I want to say I watched it on Flavors, and I kept thinking, "Make it stop! Make it stop! Please make it stop! Why won't I turn this? I can't do this." But I ended up watching the whole time. It's gonna be funny. I'm gonna get you, Michelle. I'm gonna get you, baby. Well, I'm gonna do. I mean, there's really no sense in like. I think I've done one Bombshell parody, and she's just not that fucking funny. So, I mean, honestly, we've been dealing with her for so long, and I was the original one. Okay, when she first came, I think we picked her up over at G Mango's, right? We used to go. All of us used to go to G Mango's. That's where we met Bombshell. I think I'm pretty sure. And then she kind of followed us back over to the drama community. And, even then, and this was about 4 or 5 years ago, she would say, "Oh, my bank account got, it got frozen because somebody tried to steal my money." And that was every other week. And then, I think, let's see, trying to remember exactly what happened. I think that, I think G Mango's, can't remember now why. I think G Mango's upset her a lot, and we took up for her. When I say we, it was me and Pirate and Savage, and we took up for Bombshell to where we were like fighting with G Mango's, who we all adore. And then, literally days later, Bombshell goes right back over there. And I'm like, listen, I was live. She was a mod for me, I believe. No, was I a mod from her? Anyway, she came into one of my chats and I said, I cannot support you anymore, Bombshell. I can't. You're just not, And that's what started the rolling out. Pill bottles. Oh, I've got the pill bottles. Don't worry. And I'm going to have empty. Oh, it's going to be funny. It's going to be funny. Oh, it's always. Oh, no, Dante. It's never. It never changes. It's just different people, Yeah, it's always the same kind of drama. Just different people. Never. And Mayor's daughter. Hello. How are y'all? All right. We're going to get to it. So, all right, we're talking about the 8-day bride. You're thinking to yourself, Shannon, what the hell does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. And I'm going to start with the day it all went left. And then we're going to go back, right? Because I like to do it like what, the whatever happened, the murder, disappearance, whatever. And then figure out how we got there, all right? So that's what we're going to do. Let me take out my outline that I will not in any way, shape, or form adhere to. Hey, Vince. She was, she was at her father's house. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Old Mommy was at the house. And, then she had to leave. Yeah, this is not a well-known case. And y'all know, I mean, we have covered a lot of cases on here. A lot of cases. I'm pretty impressed. When somebody will say, I think somebody the other day said, "Oh, you need to cover Dennis Martin, who went missing." I said, "Oh yeah, no, we did that. We did it." And when I go back and look at all the ones that we've covered, it's like I'm pretty impressed. So now it's just like going out and finding them and getting ones that are really interesting, and then you gotta research them for a while. And if they're not that interesting, you put it up on the shelf for a little while, and then you bring it back down. But anyway, all right, so. Let's go to May 20. Let me bring in. Nope. There we go. All right. Let me go back this way. Oh, that's Toronto Maple Leafs. Oh, my bad. Sorry. y'all know I love them. 1947. All this happened in Toronto, Canada, and close to Toronto. So it's Toronto. Maple Leafs, Toronto, I'm on it. So on May 20th, 1947, a woman named Christina Kettlewell went missing from a honeymoon cabin that she was sharing with her husband, Jack, and his best friend, Ronald Berry. You're thinking to yourself, Shannon, why would a newly married couple be spending their honeymoon with a man? That's a very good question. Not what I'm sure we'll answer, but it's a very good question. So this cabin was on, and I will either call it a cabin or a cottage. It's the same. This cottage was so secluded that you could only get to it by boat. It's the Severn Falls River. All right, we'll go. Now we'll look at the pictures. We have Christine on the left. We have Christine and Jack in the middle, and then we have Ronald on the right. He looks swarthy, but we'll get to that. Now, Ronald that day had been out of the little cabin. He said he was. You needed a boat to get anywhere, right? But he says that he was out doing whatever, and then he came back at 12 o'clock, and he couldn't wake his friend up. Jack, wake up. Couldn't wake the friend up. Christina was staring out the window like she was in a trance. So what happens when you can't wake your best friend up from his honeymoon? You go out and you leave the cabin to go and have a little suntan, right? Go take a little sunbathing in, right? Mm-hmm. All right. He returns to the cabin around 6-ish, right? These stories change. This story changes very little, but it changes. So this is the first story that he told. When he returned to the cottage around 6-ish, that he saw that sorry, it's funny, I can't sorry. He returned to the cabin to find a disoriented Jack sitting in the cabin with an apparent head injury, okay, and possibly drugged. Now, also, the cabin was on fire, all right? So he grabs his bestest buddy, he drags him out, he works on him for like 10 minutes, right? And he can't really get him roused up, and he's kind of drugged, and he's got the head injury, and he doesn't, and then he goes back in for Christina, who he cannot find. He cannot find Christina anywhere. So what he does is he puts his friend, I think one of the fire department people or somebody pulled up to the, when they saw the flames. Ronald puts his friend in the boat, Jack, and he takes Jack to where you parked the car to the hospital. Poor Jack, right? Head injury, doesn't know what went on. Could have been a little bit drugged. They didn't really do a drug test at the time. But anyway. So, I'm sorry. It's not funny, but it's kind of funny. Okay, so Jack also had burns, all right, because the place was on fire. Burns, head injury, drugs. So, a little bit later that evening, Christina's body was found. She was still in her floral nightgown, and she was face down in 9 inches of water. Dead. She was dead. All right. And 9 inches of water. Now, the people that were there at the burning of the house, which only took about an hour to burn all the way down, and you'll see, I'll show you, it's not that big of a place. It's on a river. So Christina was found about 150 feet from the actual cabin. And they had been running back and forth, the fire people, to the lake, to the river, to get water to put it on the house. Nobody saw her. Nobody saw her. They didn't see her body. And one guy was watching the fire burn, and he turned around to walk back home, I guess, along the riverbank, and that's when he saw her, face down, 9 inches of water. Yeah, oh my warrior grandma, it gets really weird. This is just story 1. Okay, this is just story number 1. Trust me, there's a lot more stories out there. So yeah, that was a big problem, wasn't it? 150. A man named Neville Sweet, who was the owner of the boathouse in the area, said her body had no visible burns, no singed anything, and no violent, there was nothing violent about her body. She wasn't, beaten up. She wasn't, it wasn't whatever. So an official autopsy though did find that she had codeine in her stomach. This is 1947. So I don't know how good they're, well, obviously, they wasn't that great. They didn't really know how the codeine got there. But as we go back and go over these month or so before this wedding, you're gonna find that old Christina was not on her right. She was out there, that one. All right. So, but the death was declared a drowning. All right. So the coroner said, yeah, she's got codeine in her stomach. We don't really know how it got there, but she did drown in 9 inches of water. Let's see. Here's a picture of Ronnie there on the right, Christina on the left, and the middle one, I don't know who she is. I have no idea. And I'm thinking maybe Jack Kettlewell probably took this picture, because Christina and Jack knew each other for about 3 years. And I am not sure how long Ronnie and Jack knew each other. I couldn't find that. They had been friends for a while, and they stayed friends. I'll tell you when they till they stayed friends. I mean, yeah, I'm just saying. So, yeah, nobody saw this body. They went to we're getting ready to get to an inquiry here in a little while. Uh, Poor Jack, though, did not remember anything that occurred after 11 a.m. on that day. And he talked to the police, he talked to everybody. He did not remember a thing that happened before 11 a.m. He was questioned for 13 hours, and still, I'm sorry, Ronald was questioned. Get this, all right, you ready? Ronald was questioned for 13 hours. And during that, he presented the police with a 3,000 word statement that the police called fantastic, meaning let's get this straight. He prepared a 3,000 word report to the police immediately following her being found dead, the cabin burning down, his buddy Jack got a head injury and doped up. This idiot, these idiots, you could just back off the shelf. Well, you know what? Yeah, probably so, Santa. It was probably so. Oh, monkey girls, how are you? Oh, Rowena. I like the name though. If the place was so isolated, that you had to get there by boat, was it very populated? Not really, but I'll show you. And like I went and looked at the at it now today, and today it's got, hey, we got $1 million homes all up and down that place, and we'll actually take a look at where the cabin was, because it still retains some of the rock wall that was left when the cabin burned down. We ain't got to that yet. We ain't got to that. You know how some people are just like river people? And I say that because we have Smith Mountain Lake up one side of me, and we got the James River on the other side. And there are river people that just live on that river and they are never going to move. Same thing with like Smith Mountain Lake. You get up there, you have little trailers that people live in, or you have a $5 million home. It just depends. So, all right, Christine, we'll get back. So, how do we get there? I'm going to tell you. We're going to start with her job. So, Christina Mocum lived in Mimico, Ontario. I can't ever say that. And worked as a bank, where she was described as a capable employee. You can't get no bigger than that. She was a capable employee. Now, Christina had known Jack Ray Kettlewell for about 3 years. All right. Now, she was 22, he was 26, and Ronald was 28 when all this happened. So, kind of young, but not too young. Jack was a veteran, okay, of, I guess, World War II. He was in the dental corps. And Ronald Berry was actually a Italian immigrant who came to Canada and tried to start a construction company. Didn't really work out so well. Then he tried insurance. We'll go back to that in a minute. Insurance. That didn't work out well. So he became, get ready, yes, you're getting ready to hear it, he became a professional ballroom dancer. I'll just let that sit there for a second. A professional ballroom dancer. Now, let me tell you this. Valentino, the actual Valentino, the actor, he was from Italy as well. He came over here and became, guess what? A professional ballroom dancer. I don't know what happens in Italy or what happened in Italy at the beginning of the 19th century, but they love to dance. All right. So he was a professional ballroom dancer. You go, Ronnie. All right. So, and him and Jack were friends for a while. All right. For like a couple of years. They lived together. We'll get in a little while to see. I know, right? You don't see that coming. there's going to be very very definite opinions when I get all this story out. So, uh, now Christina and Ronald and Jack spent an enormous time together. They were always together, the three of them, right? And Jack and Christina decided they wanted to get married, but Christina's family had concerns. One, Jack was not a Roman Catholic. So he became a Roman Catholic. He converted for them. Number two is they spent so much time with Ronald, they really actually thought that perhaps Ronald was in love with Christina, right? Because it was just so much time. And her sister, well, she had a couple sisters. Her sister was hell bent that that's not happen. Even went over to the apartment where Jack and Ronald lived and was telling them, back off my damn sister. So we eloped. All right. So they eloped. Now, when we're going to get in this further, right? When it says they eloped, right? I thought, okay, well, your family doesn't normally go with you, right? Oh, yes. We're going to get into them letters. So the sister actually said she was at the wedding. She also said that Christina appeared to be drugged for a couple of days before up towards the wedding. Even during the ceremony, she thought her sister was drugged up and that her sister just kind of came to in the middle of the ceremony and just kind of lived with it. Did not happen that way. That's the way the sister probably remembered it, but that is not how it happened. Okay, we'll get to that. So on May 12th, 1947, they go and elope. Oddly enough, Christina did disappear from the family home 2 weeks before her wedding. I don't know where she went. I don't think anybody knows where she went. I would almost probably think Jack and Ronald were involved. But anyway, that's a big mystery of what happened during that 2 weeks. I cannot tell you. It was always Jack, Ronald, Christina, Jack, Ronald, Christina, Jack, Christina. So three of them. It was a throuple, right? Amen, mama. So the first couple of days of their weddings, of their honeymoon, they stayed with a woman named was it Miss Thomas? They stayed in her apartment for a little while, and then Ronald said, "Hey, I own a cabin up in the falls. Y'all, let's go there for the honeymoon." And they did. And they did. Oh. So here's what I don't understand first up off the bat. You have an immigrant, which I'm not saying anything bad about immigrants, but he had tried the construction business. He had tried insurance. That's coming in a second. And he was now a professional ballroom dancer. How do you own a cabin on a river that you need a boat to get to? I don't understand how you own that, but he did. Some people said his family owned it, but his family didn't really come with him. He did have an uncle in New York City that he would go and visit every once in a while, but I don't think it was owned by his family. I think it was owned by him. I just can't figure out how he did it. And I will get to that too. So he joined the Kettlewells on their wedding, on their honeymoon. So the first few days, I said they were at an apartment. I even got the street, Tyndale Avenue in Toronto. Yeah. Yeah. And then they, on May 17th, they went to did they go to the cabin then? I'm not sure. All right. So she's dead. All right. Let's get back. She's dead. She's dead. So they had an inquest about a month later. And that's when all of this shit started just coming out. The story of this weird ass thing. And let me go see what I got right here. Again, there's Christina Christina, and there is Jack. She loved him a lot. I do not know what. Yeah, right. I do not know what she is posing for here. I do not understand this photograph at all. But it is. I'm supposing she's in a bathing suit. I can tell you. I can tell you. But this is absolutely a picture of her. So all right, so we get to this inquest, right? Yeah, the inquest. And things start to come out. Things start to come out. Let's see. Here's a photograph of Jack and Ronnie. This is before I think Christina was in the picture. They were just friends, but this is a picture of those two. Don't they look happy? You know, I love that. There's Severn Hill Falls. That's the community. This is the burned out cabin. And let me make this big. All right, so this is the burnout cabin. You see, we have a chimney and that rock wall, that kind of bottom there was the only thing left. It wasn't huge. Okay, so this is not a huge cabin. We can look at it and tell, with the people standing there, and it's just not big. So, how a couple on their honeymoon and their friend Ronald stayed in this house with any privacy or whatever, I could not tell you. But this is indeed the burnt out cabin. Let's see what's over here. There's another shot of the cabin. I don't know if that's Ronald. Yeah, it's really small. It's really, really small. Sorry, that is Toronto Maple Leaf captain Austin Matthews. Love you, baby. All right. Okay. So we're getting to the inquest now that it's happening a month after this. Look at the women. Look at the women. Women flocked to this inquest. They look at Ronald back there, loving life, smiling. Hey, there's Jack signing his little autograph. I don't understand this, but I guess in 1947, you didn't have a lot of places to go, so why not hit the inquest for the dead bride? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All right, so this courtroom stayed so packed, right, that they had to have people outside. They lined up for the autographs. The interest came in part from sensational media coverage of the case. So, yeah, it was splashed all over front pages, all over Toronto. The Toronto Daily Star, which is, by the way, still a newspaper, I got a lot of these pictures from them. I read a lot of articles from them. They probably covered it better. Obviously, it was their own, backyard. That's just a red mark that was on the photo. Yeah, so it's sometimes they put those in the old photographs. I don't know why. I guess to edit it, or I don't really know. So we have the Special Crown Counsel, C.P. Hope, was going to get down to what the hell happened to this girl, right? She zeroed in on Ronald Berry's shady ass presence from the onset. Hope called him, get this, the Special Crown Counsel said about Berry, he is a liar of the most blatant kind, whose sinister figured permeated the whole of this tragedy, but whose purpose and design are shredded in mystery. That is not a nice thing to say about this man, but you're going to find out. You're going to find out exactly why. We're getting to it. We're getting down to it right now. Yeah. Now, what we found out in this little inquest is that Ronald Berry had taken out a life insurance policy on Jack and Christina. All right. But the way he did it, he made Jack take out the insurance policy on himself and his wife of, by the way, only a few days. And he made Ronald the beneficiary of the 2 insurance policies on his life and on his wife's life. That's weird. $5,000, by the way. Now, oh yeah. Also, Ronald Berry took out a $5,000 insurance policy on the cabin before they went to the cabin. Whoa. So we have got, let's see, $5,000 for Christina, $5,000 on Jack, and $5,000 on the cabin. Well, yeah, his insurance knowledge sure did kick in. So that's irrefutable, right? That is what happened. He was going to be the beneficiary on everybody. All right. So he got to pay out for the cabin. He got to pay out for Christina. All right. And it gets weirder. All right. So he also had a double indemnity on the couple. So, listen, go watch Double Indemnity. Barbara Stanwyck, Fred McMurray. It's one of the best movies ever. If you don't know what a double indemnity clause in the insurance is, if a death happens by accident, your payout is doubled. All right? Doubled. So Ronnie got $10,000 when Christina died and $5,000 on the cabin. $15,000. That is an amount that's going to show up in a little while. That makes no sense. Also, when Jack got out of the service, in Canada they have like a gratuity, a wartime gratuity, which I think was a couple of $1,000s. I found it once and I couldn't find it again, exactly how much it was. But Jack, instead of leaving it to his family or handing it to his own family, he gave it to Ronnie. That is a lot of money. A lot of money. Oh, I know, right? Double indemnity. I'm telling you right now. I have one of her autobiographies, Monkey Girl. I haven't read it yet. So yeah, it's a lot of effing money. It's a lot. It's $268,000 if it was in today's money, right? So do y'all think things are happening a little weird though here lately? So we have Ronald making Jack take out the 2 insurance policies, double indemnity, by the way. He takes out his own insurance policy for the cabin. Jack was, in fact, injured, right? Head injury. Did Ronnie try to take him out? That's a theory that you're going to have to just stuff in your pocket because it gets weirder. All right. So the $5,000 on the cabin today would be what I think they said $65,000. This dude got a lot of money. This bitch got a lot of money. And all off of Jack, oddly enough. So let's talk about their relationship. Let's talk about Jack and Ronald's relationship. Oh, here I am. I'm back. When Ketterwell, after vigorously questioning, agreed with Mr. Hope's repeated suggestion that he and Barry were male lovers. This is in the inquest. All right. They just hounded him until he agreed that him and Ronald were indeed a couple. Do y'all hear that? It's a fucking, hold on. I'll put the window. This happens all the time. Let me put this window. Oh no. Y'all gonna see me take this whole thing out. Hold on. There we go. Listen to that. Oh, thank you, Mitten Mama. This was so fun to do. All right, so we have now, Jack is admitted in the middle of this inquest that yes, him and Ronnie were lovers. They were a couple. What are you gonna do with it? Everybody on the river, okay, knew they were lovers because they would come up there all the time together. And a lot of them were shocked when Jack actually married somebody. So it's not like all these people knew him that well, but you see him only one way in, one way out. So, but we got some more stuff that happened. When Ronnie was interviewed by the Mr. Hope, he let it out the bag that Christina had actually been quite suicidal before this happened. 5 weeks before the marriage, on Easter Sunday, he got a letter from Christina. She was absolutely crazed that she was going to have to live her life without Jack, that she couldn't bear to see him with another woman, that the best thing to do, let me see, hold on, I've skipped one. The best thing to do would be to end this, quote unquote. All right, 2 pages stick together. All right. So it was April 6th, 1957, Easter Sunday. A suicide letter revealed Christina had allegedly tried to kill herself by poisoning, and this came out in the inquest. Jack said, indeed, his fiance was ill that Easter Sunday, but he did not know he didn't know that she had written a suicide letter to Ronald detailing her uncertainty of receiving a proposal, according to his testimony. So she wrote to Ronald, Jack's very best friend, and said, listen, I'm not sure if he's going to ask me to marry him or not. I can't bear it. I'm going to kill myself. And if I have to see him with another woman, I'm really going to kill myself, basically. And I'll even give you a quote. This will be the best way out, as I cannot bear to see another girl have him, the note said. And the Royal Canadian Mounted Police did examine the letter and said that it was undoubtedly her handwriting. She absolutely did write it. So, yeah, Monkey Girls is I love it. All right, so at the end of April, we find out that she had made an attempt on both her life and Jack's life. And here's what that suicide note to Ronald said, and I'll paraphrase. When you love someone, you really love him. And I know there is no one for me but Jack. And if I cannot have him, I do not intend anyone else to. I waited, as you might say, in the hope that Jack would ask me to marry him. But now I realize I'm just a passing fancy. This is what she wrote to him. I don't know how she attempted to take his life. She obviously wrote that she had. Didn't do a very good job. Even Jack didn't know. So that's 2 suicide notes. Oh, but wait, there's another suicide note that Christina wrote the day before, May 20th, which would be the 19th. She wrote it to a Miss Thomas, which was the same woman that her and Jack stayed with when they first got married. This is 8 days of marriage, okay? This is only 8 days of marriage. So literally, she, at the end of April, did not think let me slow down. At the end of April, she wasn't sure that Jack was going to ask her even to marry him. All right. Now, somebody sure as hell talked Jack into marrying her, though, didn't they? By May 12th, that's when they eloped. So Ronnie facilitated this proposal and this marriage. He was absolutely the one planning it and doing it. Now, what do we know about Jack and all this? we don't know a lot because Jack is kind of not the alpha male here. Ronnie is the alpha male. All right. Jack, quiet, easygoing. We'll hear about from his family in a little while. Just not someone that was an alpha male at all. So during their stay at the cabin, Ronald, and I think Jack too, but I'm not sure. Ronald said that Christina was acting out of character, that she would either be extremely talkative or very quiet or crying. It was just all these, extremes. She was always in an extreme mood. Now, we know there's codeine in her system. I don't know how she got it there. I guess that would be, kind of like the where she was drugged up and dazed and whatnot. Somebody put it there, don't know who. And then, like I said, crying, and she was just a mess. She was a mess. She would have conversations with Ronald about whether or not Jack truly loved her. All right. It was still going on. The final letter was written the day before she died, and it was addressed to Mrs. Thomas, a woman who owned the house in Maminko, where she briefly stayed with Jack. And Christina asked Ronald to mail it the day, hey, shift happens, the day before, on the 19th. She gave the note to Ronald and said, can you please run mail this when you go there? Oh, yeah, she was clinging, but she had every reason, when you see the way Ronald and Jack were. Ronald was running this thing. Jack was just so weak as a man. I hate to even say that, but, I think Ronald talked him into marrying her. Ronald talked him into getting these life insurance policies where he was the beneficiary. Jack, give me your wartime gratuity, and I'm going to need you to marry Christina. And would you mind? Let's just put a couple of, $5,000 on y'all, double indemnity in case something happens. Okay. In that eighth day they were married, something happened. A lot happened. So, all right. So this is a little bit of the note that she had written, Miss Thomas. Ronnie is in the boathouse outside somewhere, the note said. By the time he gets back, everything will be over with. He must have been afraid something would happen because he is staying an entire extra day to make sure we get back to Toronto with him. Really? Really? Now, do you think that Ronald told Jack about the 2 suicide letters that she had written him and the suicide letter that she had written Miss Thomas? He did not. Jack found out about these letters during the inquest. So let's see. In April, when she wrote them, she wrote 2 of them in April, beginning and end, right? May 19th, she writes another one to Miss Thomas. Then we have the inquiry about, let's see, a month or so later. And Ronald doesn't say, listen, Jack, you're going to hear some shit during this inquest. Now, listen, I received 2 suicide notes from Christina in April. Buddy, I know I should have told you, but I didn't. Another interesting fact was when Ronald returned to the cabin at 6 o'clock on the 20th, and it was ablaze, okay? And he runs in and he saves his best friend. He pulls his best friend out. He also runs back in the cabin for the suicide letters that he had. He kept them, and they were in the cabin. So Ronald, after he drags his, burnout, effing head injury best friend, runs back into the damn cabin to retrieve the suicide notes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because you would do that, right? You would absolutely do that. Oh. Now, here's what Jack I guess he was asked after the fact, well, how do you feel about your friend not telling you about the 2 suicide notes, whatnot? And Jack said that he was pretty sure that his best friend was operating in the dark to protect him. I'll say it again. Jack believed that Ronald kept all of this secret to protect Jack from it. I'll wait. Okay. So Jack, during this inquest, again, let's find out, all right, that his fiance, well, actually, it wasn't even his fiance, was it? Not at all. They weren't engaged. So he found out that there were 2 letters where Christina was dying, literally, for him to ask her to marry him. And his friend didn't tell him about it. But his friend did say, listen, go on and marry her. Just marry her. Let's marry her. Come on, marry her. I know, is right. So we have Christina who, all right, let's see. What we know, what we know. Christina is dead. $10,000 goes straight to Ronnie. Double indemnity. It wasn't a suicide. She had no, like I said, marks, no nothing. She drowned in 9 inches of water. Her death was determined to be drowning. Double indemnity. We have the cabin insured for $5,000. So that's $15,000, right? Which today would be $260 some thousand. The story gets grosser from there. So Ronnie lets it all out in the inquest that he loaned Christina $15,000 before the marriage. He loaned her $15,000 because she said that she had been raped by a group of men at a church getaway. And those men were blackmailing her, saying that if she didn't give them money, they were going to tell her father. That's the story that Ronald told on why he, right, off of ballroom dancing. Oh, Ronald was manipulating Canada at this point, the entire country of Canada. So again, a professional ballroom dancer has got $15,000 to loan his best friend's quickie fiance. And you know what though? Let me find it. Find it. This Jack, let me tell you, he's great. I mean, now this Ronnie, he's wonderful. He said, you know what though, guys? I knew she wasn't going to pay me back. I knew there was no way she could pay me back. She worked at a damn bank. She was a teller, capable employee. But guess what? He didn't said, but you know what? She did pay me back $13,000 of it. What? Wait a minute. What? You loaned her $15,000 from your ballroom dancing salary. I don't know how much to pay. She paid you back $12,000 on her bank employee, whatever she did. How is right. He never says how. That is, Dante, it's the weirdest blackmail I've ever seen. But apparently, I did read that sometimes that did happen. And that maybe the reason Jack married her so quickly was she was assaulted at this church gathering, retreat or whatever. And he didn't, Ronnie said, listen, you gotta marry her because she's been raped. And, not knowing if she was pregnant or, I don't even know. I don't know because this is all coming from Ronald, right? Mm-hmm. So we have He loaned her 15,000. She paid back 12,000. Let me tell you what. It is 2024. I don't know if y'all have heard. If I had to borrow $15,000 from somebody, I would never get that. I mean, even now, right? Just give me $15,000. I'm not going to be able to pay you back for many moons. But if you consider at the time that this is 200 and some $1,000, right? The equivalent to 200 and some $1,000. And he loaned it to her, and then she paid some of it back. Poor Jack didn't know shit. Jack never knew shit. Jack's an idiot. Sorry, Jack, but you're a fucking idiot. All right. So that's another story. Now, Ronald also told another story about the cabin. He said that morning on the 20th of May, that Christina got up and cooked them hot chocolate. And let me see, what was it? I'm going to tell you exactly what the hell they ate that day, because I'm like, what? Hold on. All right, hold on. I'm going to find it for you. Because I thought, what an odd thing to go. Anyway, she cooked them breakfast in the morning. Now, mind you, she was found still in her floral nightgown. She was found dead, still in her floral nightgown. Would she have gotten up in her floral nightgown, made them breakfast, still in her floral nightgown? All right. Then he left. Ronald left, he says. And then he came back at 12. And there was his friend who he could not rouse. Okay. And Christina is just staring out the window like a moron, just staring out the window. He doesn't know what's going on. She would still be in her floral gown, right? This could all have happened, but I'm just saying it's very odd. He comes back at 6. Oh no. He says that when he pulls his friend out of the cabin, she's still in the cabin. He's changed the story now. She is in the cabin. Okay. And by the time there's Jack and his father. By the time he went back, I guess for the suicide notes, she was nowhere to be found. He said, look, I ain't got time to look for you because my friend Jack here has got burns on him and he's got a head injury and he's acting like he's drugged and I'm going to take him to the hospital. He ran back in. Christina wasn't there, but he grabbed the suicide notes and then he left. Okay. Now he's come up with this bullshit of he loaned her 15,000. She paid it back. He wasn't going to ask for it. He told her, all right, here's another story. When she gave him the 12,000, he said, okay, do me a favor, honey. And will you put this in the bank for me? She didn't do it. She did not do it. We don't know where that money is now. That money gone. Another odd thing. Jack borrowed I'm going to assume it was a diamond from a friend of his, and I think it might be Miss Thomas that she wrote that third note to. He borrowed her wedding rings to propose to Christina. All right. Now, the value of that ring, Sunday, the value of that ring is in today's money would be around $13,000. That's how much it was worth. All right. Not at the time, but like now. That ring was never found. That ring was not at the cabin. That ring was not on her finger. That ring has never been found. Ever. That's odd to me, but there you go. I'm just making sure. You know me, I got to check everything. Okay. Hot chocolate and porridge is what they had that day for breakfast. He's saying. Yeah, it was, I forgot. It was hot chocolate and porridge. Again, went out to sunbathe, returned. Jack was sleeping, couldn't get him up. Oh my God, what am I going to do? When he goes back out, she's gazing out the window, suicide letter. He left again. I'm going through. Let's go through here. All right, there he is. He's loving life. This is during the inquest, people. Look at him. He's happy. Hello. I can see you, Lavender. I love you, baby. Look at him. Swarthy. Look it up. It ain't a nice term, but he is swarthy. Yeah. He removed Jack. Jack was wrapped in blankets. When he removed him from the house and he tried to revive him for 10 minutes. And then he went back in to get Christina, but she was gone. And then there was a fire. So he was saying first that, okay, his choice, it changed so stupidly when he got back at 6. For the first time he said it, the house was on fire. He ran in to get his friend. He pulled his friend out. Right. Christina was still nowhere to be found. Couldn't find her anywhere. All right. Couldn't find her anywhere. That's story 1. Story 2 is that he removes his friend who is wrapped in blankets, brings him outside with Christina still inside. Okay. And he's trying for 10 minutes to revive his doped up friend with the head injury and the burns. All right. Not big burns, but. And then he runs back in 10 minutes later. Oh, shit, the house is on fire. Oh, damn it, Christine. What have you done? The damn cabin's on fire. Let me grab those suicide notes and get the fuck out of here. And that is what he did. Okay. All right. So he did say search for her, but come on. He used the boat, got him there. Jack, I said, Jack remembers nothing. He remembers nothing. Then Jack does remember. Jack says, wait a minute. I do remember eating lunch. And then I felt ill a bit afterwards. And then he remembered nothing until Ronnie revived him outside. Also, oddity was that Christina's feet were not in any way scraped up, injured in any way. She had no shoes on. Where she was found, she would have had to go down some rocks. And odds are she would have had injuries. She didn't have any injuries on her feet. So it can only be speculated that someone carried her outside. Who did that? Well, I don't think it was Jack. He was doped up in the house. Could it have been Ronnie? Very possibly. Very possibly. So this does get a little odder. Okay. At the inquest, they could not determine how the cabin caught on fire, but it didn't really matter. He got $5,000 for that. They also ruled her death an accident. Now, I'm wondering if it had been suicide, because this was 1947. Now you can't collect. If I might be wrong, I don't think you can collect on an insurance policy if someone kills himself, especially if you've only had that. If the ink isn't dry on the damn thing, right? The ink wasn't dry on the insurance things before she died. And so, but anyway, he got $10,000 for her, $5,000 for the cabin. Nobody could figure out how the cabin caught on fire. She drowned. It's a payday for all. Okay. So we have theories. We have theories. I'm going to invite. Let me see if I go through here. Okay, here we go again. There, look. Hey, everybody. It's me. I'm not Ronald. Y'all want to come dance? Because I'm a pretty good damn dancer. All right, so this is Jack right here. And I think it's 1976. I think that's him. Let's go back to just this right here. Just craziness. So we have theories. A lot of damn money. Shit. Hold on. Y'all know I can't do this. So let's talk about some theories. This can really only be only a few things could have happened here. And I say that because You have a woman who is absolutely obsessed with Jack. Even though they've known each other for 3 years, I don't think she pined away from him for 3 years. I don't know what happened in the month before they got married that made her so hyper focused on Jack, but something did, right? And you got to wonder, was it his best friend Ronnie? Now, one theory is that Jack and Ronald were lovers, and Jack and Ronald needed a beard, if you will, a beard, or a distraction, a wife to hide their relationship, which happened a lot back then. I'm not gonna lie. That is one theory, and that she found out they were gay. She caught them, or whatever happened, and she, during that 8 days, completely lost her mind and tried to kill not only herself but Jack. And was suspicious of Ronald. If you remember the note that she wrote to Miss Thomas, she said he must be sensing something because he's insisted on staying to make sure we get back to Toronto. That was in the suicide note she wrote Miss Thomas. So that's one theory. That she did this. She tried to kill Jack. She somehow set it on fire. She somehow ran out into the river, drowned herself in 9 inches of water, didn't hurt her feet, and everything was fine. That's one. Two is they were lovers. Christina was the third. It was like a menage a trois. And but if that were the case, why would she write these suicide notes to Ronnie about Jack not proposing and couldn't see Jack with another girl? I can't bear to see him with another girl. I don't care if I see him with you. It's very strange. It's got, yeah. And then you have the third opinion that Ronnie just doped up Jack, doped up Christina, tried to figure out how to, tried to kill Jack. I mean, this is an opinion. This is a theory. He absolutely was able to kill her. Not a problem. 9 inches of water, whatever. And he tried to kill Jack. He doped them both up. Okay, he doped them both up because codeine was found in her stomach. We couldn't get a level on it like you could now. It's just the coroner found codeine in her stomach. We have an amount, any idea. And Jack's blood was not even tested at the hospital. But he was drugged again. So, I mean, somebody did it. So, third theory is that Ronnie tried to get them both, basically. That would have been, let's see, that would have been a 10,000 for her. I'm going to say 10,000 for him because it would have gone down that she murdered her husband. So that's an accident. That'd be maybe another 10,000. And then you got the 5,000 for the freaking damn stupid cabin. So that's a lot of money. And there are so many theories on this, but the one that everybody agrees with is that there is no way in hell this girl knew they were gay. There is no way in hell. It probably never entered her mind. I don't know. I mean, and Ronald picked her out, right? And he was able to manipulate both Jack and Christina to get married, and then manipulated Jack into getting the insurance policies out on himself and his bride. So his best friend was the beneficiary. All right. He was able to get Jack to give him his wartime gratuity. Right. Well, you know what? I think Ronnie did it too. But guess what? Well, it's not a murder. Christina wasn't considered to be murdered. She drowned. So Ronald and Jack got out scot-free. Nothing happened to them. Nothing happened to them. I mean, let's see. Deborah. I think Ronnie had money on his brain. I think that's it. Now, oddly enough, we're going to go through, we'll go here a little bit. Let's move out a little bit. 3 years after this, Jack married another woman. Okay. And Jack actually lived in the apartment that he and Christina shared for just a couple of days. Okay. He still lived in that apartment. He moved only across the street. He literally, when he got married, they lived in that apartment. And then he and his wife moved across the street. Okay. He had a son named Jack. Let's see. Hold on. Let's move forward. Right, there he is in 1970 something. All right, this is today. And if you see, I know y'all can't see my damn pointer, but on the left, obviously, is what is built there now. If you look at the bottom of this, right under the house, you'll see that rock wall. Now you have to remember the picture on the right is reversed, meaning, we're up that hill taking a photograph with the river in the background. That wall is still there. I think Ronnie and Jack both planned it. They figured if she was going to unalive herself, I think you don't. All of these are so plausible that it could be any one of these. In all of these, though, Ronald plays a huge part facilitating the proposal and the elopement, got her away from everybody, like her family, up in the falls there, where you could only get to it by boat, and whatever played out. So the wall is actually pretty much still there, and that's what we have now. Let's see. Oh, this is okay. This guy right here, his uncle owned. Nope, didn't own. This guy's family has owned that boathouse type thing ever since, this time. And here he is. He's posing, obviously, on the other side of, there's the house back there, the land. And again, he said his uncle was 10 years old at the time of the inquest, right? And that none of them up and down that river could believe that these two men, actually one of them married a woman, but weren't quite too shocked when the woman quickly died. This is Jack's son in the house that he has always lived in. And this is Jack's wife. Hello, Jack's wife, Sharon. How are you? Now, Sharon is a genealogy buff, right? She wanted to get down to her, Jack's family's family, where they came from and all that. So she was in a library. And I want to say in the library, it was before the elder Jack died. And she ran across this story. They had never heard of their father or father-in-law's life. They never heard the story that his bride died 8 days after he married her, up at the lake with Ronnie, who they still knew, okay, had never heard of it. And they didn't bother to ask the elder Jack when they found out. They didn't ask him, Dad, what happened? We ran across this article, what happened? They never did it. So I'm sorry, Jack Jr., but you're about as fucking, you're about like your dad. Sorry, not sorry. I would have damn sure asked my dad, what the hell is this? The hell? But they said, no, he was quiet. They did describe Jack as quiet. he would never, never, ever, if he got the wrong food at a restaurant, he wouldn't take it back. If he had the wrong size shirt or whatever, he wouldn't take it back. That one point, somebody had laid tile in their home. And this is when he was still married. All right. Well, he stayed married. But and the tile was not right. And he refused to call the guys out to come and fix it because he was just so easygoing. So almost easy going. You can call it that all you want to. Yeah. Anyway, a lot of hush money, but you know what? Nobody. Jack won't talking. Now, let's get to the. I love the aftermath. All right, let me. And in this, listen. Let's not. In this inquest, Jack did say in the middle of it that he and Ronnie were in a long-term romantic relationship. Oh, thank you for coming in, remember. So he admitted this in front of his father, his family. He admitted this in the inquest. We were long-term lovers. We were in a relationship. Okay. So he marries a woman 3 years after Christina dies. Okay. They marry in, what is that? So that would be what, 1950? Yeah. They ended up splitting up. And I want to say, God, I think it's 68. 67 or 68, they separated. But because he was such a devout Catholic, which remember, he wasn't a Catholic until he met Christina, and they didn't make him, but he converted over to Roman Catholic. And him and his wife never divorced. Yeah. But the end of this is that in 1956, Ronnie and Jack were still friends. I don't know anything about how the second wife dealt with it. I don't know if they were still lovers. I don't know. Nobody knows. But in 1957, Ronnie came to Jack's home and he gave his Pekingese dog, his little Pekingese named Ling, to Jack Jr. to have, and he went to New York and was never seen or heard from again. Nowhere. Now, I searched for his name, Ronald Eugene Berry. He had another last name when he first came to America, to North America. And it's like Coifer, or let me try to find it. I think it's Ciofur. That name is nowhere. I can't find that name. I found some Ronald Berries, Barrie. I found them, but none of them matched his, I found obituaries. Here's Mr. Kettlewell's. He's buried with his second wife there. Loving memory. I mean, imagine that. You have to spend eternity with somebody you separated from for what? 30 years? I don't know. Oh, wait, let's go to Kiron. So, Mr. Kettlewell died. We don't know what happened to Ronald Berry. We know he had a shitload of money. Well, maybe he didn't by then. Maybe he did. He probably, I don't know if he spent it or not. I don't know. This story is so weird because literally Ronald just disappears. That's odd. That you're going to go to, some people said he was just going to New York, the state. Other people said he was going to New York City. He did have an uncle in New York City. This one woman that was on Reddit, God love her, she tracked his family down. She ran it down to where he had spent 2 weeks or 3 weeks in New York City in 1942, visiting his uncle, and then he came back, and she had traced it all, down to his visits. But as soon as he says, I'm going to New York, here, take the dog, nobody hears from him ever again. He has never heard from him. Maybe Jack finally got a backbone. I don't know because they said he wouldn't even if he received bad service, or we're talking about the tile, right? The Jack Jr. said my dad was so easygoing. He just went with the flow. Is that what he did in 1947? Just went with the flow? Let Ronnie I mean, you were at an inquest on what happened to your bride, your 8-day bride. You have given every cent you have to Ronnie before the war gratuity, not to his family, definitely not to his wife, his best friend, quote unquote, quote unquote. Hold on, let me remove this. So I don't know when Jack got a backbone because Jack didn't have a backbone anywhere else in his life. God love him, but he didn't. If you effed up my tile and it was all uneven, yeah, I'm gonna call your ass back. And I can see now, like the wife, I can see the wife leaving him. You got to have some kind of backbone, I'm sorry, but down to where you won't even exchange a shirt or complain about food or whatever in the world. And then you are so laid back that even your own son says, "Honey, I understand Dad was possibly a homosexual murderer in 1947, possibly. But let's just not ask him because he's not feeling well." They found out about 4 or 5 years before he died, and they just didn't ask. In my family, we are effing. He was, in my opinion. I go back and forth. Because when Jack did finally admit that they were lovers, he then recanted the story 20 minutes later, I guess, and said, no. No, the police were really mean to me. And so were you, Mr. Hope, the special counsel. You were mean. And you made me say that I was gay with him. I didn't say that. Well, you did. You did say that, sir. So would a man go with the flow that much? What if Jack wasn't even really gay, but Ronnie was? And Ronnie, that's why I like this. I don't know. I have an opinion that changes every other minute. First, I think that, Ronnie manipulated all this for money. For money. When he lied and said that he gave Christina $15,000, which is exactly the money he made on her. But no, she had paid back $12,000. And when she paid back the $12,000, he said, "You know what? Just go put it in the bank." That never got done. So we don't know where the ring is. We don't know where the 12,000 were. I can't see Christina getting $12,000 from anybody, anywhere. No. Don't know how she would have done that. Family didn't have it. So, he couldn't prove that she paid him back because there's no money. So I think that's when he added, "Oh, well, yeah, no, listen, man. She paid back 12,000 of it." And I said, "You know what? Go put it in the bank." Because she worked at a what? Bank, right? And then he just says, but I mean, she never did. I don't know. What do y'all think? And I encourage you, something is going on near me. I encourage y'all to look this up. And I always say I'm going to add all the places that I looked into the description, but I never do it. So I'm sorry, but I read it. The Toronto Star. If you just put in 8-Day Bride or Christina Kettlewell, and it's Kettlewell together, it'll pop up. The story doesn't change a lot because it is 1947, and they didn't have exactly how much codeine was in her stomach. They didn't know how much or what was in Jack's system when he got taken to the hospital. Her family said she acted drugged up right before the wedding. I don't think that Ronnie would have had to drug her because she obviously was pretty in love with Jack. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police absolutely said, yes, this is her handwriting 100%. Jack did not write these notes, to himself. She absolutely wrote them. Again, with Miss Thomas and the letter that she asked Jack to send on the 19th. I think it's pretty suspect that his first story was he gets back, the cabin's on fire, he pulls his friend out, he can't find Christina. Oh no. People start showing up to put the fire out. He puts his friend in a boat and takes him to get to a hospital. And then that changes to, well, I left in that morning after breakfast, and then I came back at 6. Where are you going from like 9, 10 to 6? My stepmom dug into the case. That's how. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I wonder what she thought. Yeah, she thought Ronnie. Yeah, Ronald did it. Ronald did it. Hey, Halloween baby. Oh, you did. You had your Thanksgiving this weekend. Oh God, don't even talk about it. Things didn't go exactly as Ronnie planned. No, Cheyenne, but he got. He made a lot of money off this. He made a lot of money off this, and I'm sure he didn't give any to Jack. I'm almost positive he didn't give any to Jack. If he did give some to Jack, we don't know because Jack is not doing it. Thank you, doctor. Thank you. I like to find these weird ones, And again, like I said, he changed the story. Then he came back at lunch, could not revive his friend. This is what gets me. Number one, if your friend's on their honeymoon, okay, and you don't see him in the cabin, it was not a large cabin, and then you go in, Jack, Jack, wake up, Christina, why are you looking out the window like an idiot, Jack? Right? And then you say, F it, I'm going to lay in the sun. I'm going to lay in the sun. Bye. And then he comes back. And the cabin's not on fire. But he goes in and finds his friend. Thank you for being a part of the screening room. Don't get me started on the Black Dahlia. Don't get me started on the Black Dahlia. I've done the Black Dahlia twice. I will do it again. The Black Dahlia. Oh, if y'all don't know that case, it is so. Oh my God. There are so. All right, anyway, I'm going to end this. We'll talk about Black Dahlia for a second. The Black Dahlia has got so many possible suspects, right? Oh, thank you for gifting 10 members. Oh, I appreciate that. Vicky, thank you for being a member for 17 months. I love this one. I love the older ones too, but the Black Dahlia. All right, so I read, and I've told this story before. If y'all heard it, I'm sorry. I read the Black Dahlia Avenger, which was written by a police detective who believed his father, who was a doctor back in the day, had killed the Black Dahlia. And like he was a detective. What the fuck was his name? When I read his book, and it is okay. Have y'all ever tried to read Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard? It's the first story that you have to read. It's the first book that you have to read by L. Ron Hubbard to get into Scientology. And during when you read that book, it will tell you 100 times, 1,000 times in that book. if you read something in this book, this is the Dianetics by L.R. Harper. If you read something in this book and you don't understand it, you go back and you figure out why you don't understand it. And then when you understand it, only then will you move forward. That's like the deal. That's how they brainwash you, by making you do this. Oh, The Avenger. When I read that book, and it was a huge book. It wasn't a medium letter like printing. It was a small printed effing book. The man pulled out, so his father died. The whole story on them is weird. All right. Steve Hodel is his name. Hodel. Steve Hodel. That's the man who wrote the book. His father was a anyway. But I made it to the end of that book. And I said I should be getting a college degree because I read through this gibberish. And he says when his father died, he got his father's estate and he opened up this little book of photos, and that there was 2 photos of a woman that was indeed the Black Dahlia. No, it wasn't. Meet Lavender. Lavender and her friend were on that panel. Do you remember Lavender? And that was so fun because Lavender and her friend were having a girls' weekend, and they researched the Black Dahlia, and we had a live on it, and it was so great because everybody had like a different, yeah, it was bad. It was confusing. It was horrible. I'm sorry. He's also written like 2 more. I wouldn't do that if I had to. And then I've read another book that has another guy that it makes sense that he is the one that killed her. And then there's another book about somebody else. And when you read these books, you're like, oh shit, I think he might have done it. Oh shit, maybe he did. The only person that I knew that didn't do it was Steve Hodel's dad. No, I ain't buying it. But I do believe that Lavender Sunny, you and your friend were convinced that Dr. Hodel did it. Yeah, look. I will do the Black Dahlia again because honestly, you can do 100 shows on the Black Dahlia and you're going to see something you did. I mean, like the facts never change in these things. The facts never change, right? Like with Christina, fact is she died. She had codeine in her system. She wrote some, three suicide notes. Those facts don't change. Like with the Dahlia. You have that period where she was missing. You don't really know what happened in that, what was it, a week? Maybe? I'm not sure. And, we can do the Dahlia again. Lavender, you ready, honey? Well, we can do it again. We can do it again, South Lavender Sunday. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I can do that again. Not a problem. Not a problem because I got so many books over there in my little library about her. We can schedule that shit. And that's going to require a panel because, and then I think Iridium Farm, which is a beautiful, wonderful girl that used to be on here. And I loved her so much. And she and I did a panel about the Black Dahlia, and we too had different suspects that we thought had done it. And that was fun. It was fun. But anyway, yeah, Black Dahlia, don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that. Monkey Girls, you have to come up now. Come on. You don't have to you don't have to have a, you can do your an icon. You don't have to be, up here like cammed up. But getting everybody's opinion is always so fun. You 5150. Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Thank you, 5150. Thank you. So you memberships and a cash. Thank you. What? You did what? I don't know what that means. You can come up here. All right. Anyway, yeah, don't get me started on Black Dahlia. Do not get me started on the Black Dahlia. I bet Christina saw something she didn't like. Oh, Tennessee Honey, I agree with that. I think she. Yeah, all right, with Jack is if you are willing to under you know under heavy questioning admit that you had been in a relationship for a long time. Okay, if you were able, somebody was able to steamroll over you and make you admit that, all right, and it wasn't true. I think it was true, personally. Myself, I don't know. All I know is I don't like any of these people, and I'm sorry. Oh no, but I love you, Mike. I love you. I love you, monkey girl. I did not like Ronnie. I did not like Jack, and I ain't real crazy about Christina. But you must. Was she just a silly 22-year-old? Was she raped by a group of men at a church? You know, thing, and they were blackmailing her. And I did look it up. Thank you, monkey girls. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm so glad that you do need it because I need it too. I need to do this. Um, it's something about my ADD, and I'll explain to you. It's hard to explain. All right, so I can, when I'm upstairs, I will take my laptop upstairs or my phone, whatever. I can watch TV. All right. I can research on Reddit or wherever the hell I am, and I can watch something on the computer. I can do all three well. I, maybe not well, but anyway. So it's almost like the one side of my brain does one thing and the other side of my brain does something else. So when I'm channeling the research, right, that's the one side of my brain that's like, okay, Lace with Lacey, I love you. Um, oh, I should probably let me see if I make these little things at Christmas, and it's like, all right, so let me see if Catherine's up. I'll make her bring it. This is what I have to do when I am hold on, because I know she's not asleep. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I make these things at Christmas. They make no sense. I'm not gonna go running about my kid though. Can you do me a favor? Are you asleep? Can you do me a favor? Can you grab some of those little hats that we make, and can you like toss them down to me? They're in a bag, up, on top of the china hutch. All right, love you. Bye. All right, stay on the phone with me until you. Oh, she hung up. All right, so anyway, I'll show you. You take like a toilet roll or a empty toilet roll or paper towel roll, whatever, and you cut it like about maybe a half an inch or a little bit more. You cut them into this, right, and then you get yarn and you loop it around the piece of paper towel roll that you've cut off, and then you push it all through. And when you're done, when you've gone all the way around, right, and you lay it out, straighten it out, and then you get another piece of of yarn and you tie it, and it's a little hat. It turned into a little hat. All right, it's cute. And so I can sit there and watch TV, whatever I'm here, and I'm with not paying any attention to my hands. I'm making these little hats. So, oh no, are you okay? What's going on? Let me go get. Let me run. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh my hip. Oh my hip. Oh my hip. Just throw me like a couple, and then if you can get one of the rings in here that I haven't used yet, Just give me. Just close it up. Oh, I'll put a few of these in my bag. Oh, okay. Oh, damn it. Oh, well, no, I got it. Wait a minute. You want cardboard? No, I think they get it. Hold on. Thank you, baby. All right. Don't laugh at things. All right. All right. So she threw some in a bag. All right. So here they end up like this. I got it straight. You see those little hats? And I go back and forth, and I have all these beautiful colors. Wait a minute, get out of there, Jack. So, all right, you put them on like gifts or whatever. It's cute to me. I don't know, but I can sit there and I can just loop, 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 and not pay any attention. Go and go. Here's a red one. I'm gonna tie that up. And then this. So that is what I do with my hands. And the sad thing is, I'm on medication. They are cute, right? They're so cute. You put them on a gift, even on a little tree. I don't know. Because I'm bipolar. I can't have a like a ADD medicine that has stimulants in it. I can't do that. So while I am on medication for my ADD, it doesn't really work. Not at all. But I have learned how, in 56 years of my life, I have learned how to kind of channel it to good things, right? So, like, research to me is a good thing. I'm channeling it out. I'm not just staring. Christina, it's so easy to do. They're so easy to do. I just love them. I think they're cute. And like my grandmother, outside of her little condominium at the retirement center, all of them have these little ledges that they can decorate for any kind of season or whatever. And so I always put some on. I'll go up and down her hallway and put them on people's things. Anyway, that's the story. Let's talk about Kiron. Let's talk about Kiron for a second. Now, I picked him. We'll just do this really quick. Here he is. This is the last known photograph of Kiron Horman. He was 7 years old. He had just done a project for his science fair at elementary school about the red-eyed tree frog. He's sweet. And oh, it's okay, Carrie. As long as you're all right, everybody's okay. You're good, baby. His stepmother dropped him off that day at 8:00. Well, she didn't drop him off. She actually went in there with him into the science fair. They looked at everything. She had let me tell you, that bitch did something to this kid. All right. So she stayed around. Let's see, dropped him, went there at 8. She walked around with him at the little science fair. Let me get the day. Hold on. I keep going back. Here we go. So this was June 4th, 2010. He's 7. She, with his little sister, go in. They've set up his little project. They walk around, look at all the other ones. She takes a photograph. She says the last time she saw him, he was headed to his classroom. All right, from the gymnasium where the science fair was. Also, she didn't mention this, that she told his teachers, he went into the school. All right, they all went into the school. He went to his class. He put down his book bag and his coat. And then they went to the gymnasium and set up the little thing. His teachers say that Terry, his stepmother, told them he had a doctor's appointment that day. So she left at 8:45. She had her little daughter with her. They drove around, ran some errands. And then there was about a 90-minute period during that day where she can't really be accounted for because she said her daughter had an earache and she rode around for 90 minutes to calm her down and soothe her because she had an earache. Which is kind of weird because her best friend, Dee Dee, was actually landscaping somebody's home that day and mysteriously disappeared for 90 minutes herself. She claimed she never left the property, but she did at the property. So here is Kyron's mother's all the way on the left. Now Kyron's mother is on the left. His father is on the far right. They were married. She was actually pregnant with Kiron when Kane started screwing around with Miss Thing right there, Terry. Yeah. And so also the mother's kidneys failed. She was having a lot of problems. And they lived in Portland, Oregon. She would go to Canada to get treatment because it was so much cheaper. But they had shared custody, but she ended up giving Kane full custody of Kiron, right? She was still 100,000% in his life. Okay. She did not abandon her son. She was just very ill and had to go back and forth. And there was no way. All right. So Terry knew this boy from birth. From birth. Okay. And she helped raise him a little bit there. Well, then we find out that Terry's just a complete slut. Sorry to say this. She was a complete slut. And so when Kiron went missing, it didn't take Kane there very long to go, huh, well, you're the last one to see my son. Where the hell is he? Oddly enough, the police come to Kane, the father, and said, oh, by the way, we found out this. Your wife, Terry, tried to get your landscaper to kill you. And he was like, I'm not even going to give you that. I'm not even going to, I thought about using the guy's name, the landscaper. I'm not going to. We'll just call him Gordo, okay? Your wife tried to get Gordo to kill you for $10,000. So Kane says, well, shit, I'm just going to go home and divorce her then, I reckon. And I'm going to take this, kid of ours. And that's what he did. The police went to her. She was the only person that had seen the kid. And there are witnesses that say she left that school with Kiron because she said she didn't. But there are people in that school that said, yes, she did. Yeah, they left at 8:42. That's when they left. He left with her. She had told the teacher he had a doctor's appointment. And then she said, oh, no, wait a minute. I told him, yeah, no, wait, yeah. I did tell them that he had a doctor's appointment, but I was a week early. It was actually the following week on the 11th of June, not the 4th of June. Also, her car pinged at some island, and oddly enough, so that on the 4th, Kane is home, she is home, the younger kid is home. They all go to the bus stop to get Kiron off the bus. No Kiron anywhere. They call the school. The school says, well, you said he had a doctor's appointment. And she's like, no. Oh, yeah. So then they started an immediate search. The principal called 911. The family called 911. Everyone converged at the school. They did searches. There was a wooded area near it. They searched. I think they stopped searching that first night at 3:42 a.m. Right? Nothing of this child has ever turned up. Nothing. All right. Um, I hate to like rush through this because it's important, but this is the thing that I get when this woman, this fucking woman. I'm sorry, I shouldn't even say that. Here's him and his mom. He looks like her. There they are again. And there's Terry. Um, hundreds of people showed up. Hundreds of people showed up. Then we find out that Terry was a bit of a whore. And I say that because she was the reason that Desiree and Cain split up before Kiron was even born. You can only get, listen, in Virginia, where I live, if you have a child, it takes you a year to get a divorce, unless it is adultery. And if you get all that admitted to, you can only get one real quick. All right. So apparently that's what they did. So she was the other woman. Terry was. So Terry volunteered. Okay. Terry had a son from another marriage. And this is important too. Let me find that. I found this very odd. I find this odd. Let me see. Let me find it. Okay. So she married her first husband, Ron Tarver. They married in 1991. They had a son named James Logan. He was born in 1994. They divorced in 1995. In 1999, they appeared in court over a child support dispute. Ron had not paid his child support for two years. Don't worry though, Terry, she got remarried. Oh, yes, she did. And she did that in 1996. And that guy's name was Richard. And he ended up adopting James, her first son, in 1998. And when they split up, guess what? Richard had to pay $500 a month child support for a kid that wasn't his. Doesn't matter. He adopted him. Stand up guy. Way to go. So then she starts seeing Cain in, what was it? Let me see. 2002, 2001, something like that. That's when Desiree, the mother, found out, said, oh, no, you're going to get on the hell out of here. So their very first, they married in 2007 in Hawaii. And on the very first Mother's Day that she spent with Cain, he bought her a brand new Mustang. And on her Facebook post, she said, something shiny for the driveway. Yes, Cain is all that and a bag of chips. I'm going to let that last quote go because it was 2007. And I think that might have been not cringy then, but it's cringy as fuck right now. She had Cain and her had a daughter after Kiron. So this bitch had two of her own, one Kiron. Her son James, we find out, a couple of weeks before Kiron goes missing, moves out of the house that Cain and, Kiron and the other kids, he moves out and goes to his grandparents' house. No one knows why, really. I mean, I guess he could probably tell us, but she keeps writing these emails to people talking about how it's Kiron's fault that her marriage is failing. It's Kiron. She tells Desiree to come pick him up. You need to come get him. You need to come get him on the email. You need to come get him. Kiron's the reason all this is happening. And Kiron all of a sudden is out of the picture. Weird. That's so weird. She ended up losing all her kids. None of them had anything to do with her. Kiron's still missing. This bitch was never charged. A grand jury was started. And another funny thing, she failed 2 polygraph tests. She took one between the 4th of June and the 25th of June, 2007. Terry Styles. She failed 2 polygraphs. She said that she failed it because she was so upset and that police weren't supposed to give you a polygraph when you were upset and hadn't slept. Really? But shit, somebody better tell them because they do it all the fucking time. And then they say the second one she didn't really fail. She just walked out of because she didn't like the questions. Okay, mama. She came to pick him up. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, this bitch is as dirty as the day is long. She's been arrested since then for stealing a car. What was it? Having a pistol, having a gun. She moved from Oregon to Los Angeles, I want to say. She kept going to the court to try to get her name changed. She wanted her name changed because she just needed to be fresh. She needed a fresh start. Okay, she needed a fresh start. And the judge would never let her do it. He wouldn't let her do it. She even had one picked out. Let me find it. It's the dumbest name I've ever heard in my life. Let me see. Where is it? I'm going to tell you because I got it. You know I got it. What does bitch want to name to me? Fail the polygraphs. Da-da-da. Science fair. Yeah. So this friend Dee Dee, her friend, again, I told you, she had 90 minutes that were unaccounted for. Dee Dee had 90 minutes that were unaccounted for. Now, during the second grand jury that was convened to consider this case and others, they sent Dee Dee a 142 question, a questionnaire of 142 questions. Some of those questions dealt with where Dee Dee was at the time, right? But Dee Dee said, you know what? I'm not answering these. I'm not answering them. I didn't know you could do that. But apparently we have learned if you just don't say nothing, number one, if you just don't say anything, they'll let you go. We've learned that over and over and over again. These children, if you just don't talk, can't prove anything. That's what's happened here. Yeah, everybody else passes it. It's fun. Yeah, she wanted to let the cops know that you can't do that. All right. She said that her husband was overbearing, talking about Kane. She described an overall toxic household that was quickly becoming unstable. Honey, if you have a toxic household, it is unstable. All right. Those two words kind of go together. And they don't know how much of her was exaggerating or if it was true. It doesn't really matter. I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter. No one knows where the boy Kiron is. His mother did sue her for $10 million because Desiree said that Terry was, quote, responsible for the disappearance of Kiron. Now, Terry would go to the court and go, I don't want to do this. Right? I don't want to be sued, sir. So can we just stop? And then the judge said, that's not how it works, Miss Thing. You're being sued. Get used to it. We're not going to, if she lost, what does it matter? She can't pay $10 million back. She never has told where the child is. We have a mother that I can't imagine. I am a hothead and I am a bit crazy when I am angry. But if you mess with one of my kids, every single time, I shouldn't even say this, but I'm going to say it. I have been arrested a few times. And I have been arrested for those few times when something or someone fuck with one of my kids. I'll just say that. I don't mean in a bad way. I don't mean in a horrific way. I don't mean touch them or whatever. No. No, nothing like that because they would be dead. All right, I would kill them. And then I would kill myself. We'd be fine. But you come in between me and mine. You upset one of mine. You lie about one of mine. You whatever. I am going to come at you like a crazy person. I give Desiree all the credit in the world that this bitch is still walking the face of the earth. I give her a lot of credit for that. I couldn't do it. I'm going to show you So here he is, bless his heart. There's your son's picture on the side of my goddamn 18-wheeler. The mom has searches upon searches upon searches. And that's why I wanted to stress that when she gave Cain the sole custody, she was very much in that child's life. The mother was, it wasn't I can't do it. No. She was having health problems. She stayed in his life, in Kiron's life. So it was not anything like that at all. I don't ever want anyone to think that. Here's when she was arrested for stealing a car. Or this might have been her gun one. I'm not really sure. Oh, but here she was back in the day when she was a bodybuilder. Yeah, so she got fat. And I can say that. Oh, Dee Dee 100% knows. But Dee Dee, the friend, is like, I wouldn't be friends with anyone who had hurt a child. The fuck you wouldn't. Y'all went missing the same 90 minutes. And shit pinged out by a damn lake, an island. And then you and her show back up on the radar 90 minutes later. Honey, no. But apparently you can just refuse to answer the questions of a grand jury and you just don't have to do it. I mean, I'm going to remember that if I ever get stupid. I mean, do you know what I'm saying? I'm not. I give Desiree is a true, wonderful woman with dignity. You fuck with mine, I lose my dignity real quick. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Not sorry at all. Yeah, but here's what she used to be. She went on Dr. Phil finally, and Dr. Phil's like, why'd you finally come? On the show? And she was like, man, I mean, I did fail this, and I didn't do anything. I swear I didn't do anything. Bitch, yes, you did. And then it came to light all the emails. She had sent all these emails to people saying Kiron is the problem. She disliked Kiron, the boy. She didn't like him at all. And I think to get back at that dad, and she was sexting the dad's friend. She was sexting the dad's friend even after Kiron was missing. I don't know what you have to. I understand we have the best legal system in the world, I suppose. I mean, so they say, but the fact that you can get rid of a 7-year-old. I'm sorry, 7-year-old. 7-year-old. I'll say that one more time. Wow. And just refuse to answer questions, and that's a go. That's okay. That's how it's done. Now, some people think that she had done it. I also went to Reddit on this. Stupid me. And there are some that think, and they have their opinion, and that who knows? But we don't know what happened. Could be right. That she didn't do anything. That it was somebody in that school. She thinks somebody in that school took him out of that school. And she still hopes that he's alive. She's going to believe he's alive until they show her he's not. Bitch. Exactly. Well, he got rid of her. But listen, I'll tell you what my grandmother always told me, and she's right as rain. You going to lose them the same way you got them. Meaning, you effed around with them, and you got them, you're going to lose them when they F around somebody else. You're going to lose them the same way you got them. And that happened. That happened. Now, does that mean Cain deserves any of this? No, obviously not. But this right here is a trash. She's trash. She's a trash human. All right. No redeeming qualities whatsoever. She was going to be a teacher and she was going to be a substitute teacher, but she gave it all up to be a mother. Really? Really? Anyway. So we still won't have Kiron. She's still running around. She did actually get married, though, to some idiot married her. I do not know who would have married her, but I think I might. Let me see if I wrote his name down. Because now she's going by his. Was it Val? Shit. Oh, I can't remember his last name. Y'all know I write down these things. Hold on. Where's the hell? Where is it? Oh, here's what she told. When she failed the first test. Quote: "You're not supposed to give someone a poly if they haven't had any sleep and they're emotionally drained. You can't do that, cops. You can't give polygraphs to people who are upset. It's wrong." Mm-hmm. So the solicitor, Terry, instead. All right. So I told you that the landscaper told the police that bitch asked me to kill him for $10,000. Terry's story was, oh no, no. He came to my door, knocked on my door, and said that if I didn't give him $10,000, he was going to come to y'all and say that I tried to get him to kill my husband. And that's how she got out of one charge. That got her out of a charge. Okay, well, I mean, all righty then. So she's twisted. Yeah, she's pure evil. She's right. She is pure evil. Ain't got a kid that needs her anywhere around. Yeah, I was watching the Dr. Phil thing, and he did want to. You can tell he wanted to cut her head off. Uh, but the point is, my point is that these people, if you just don't answer questions. Remember last week we had Jalik and the dad who lied about the last day that this child was alive and said that the child disappeared in the night, and he went to sleep and then woke up the next morning and the child left the note and was gone. So they went back and they checked. You'll remember, and the closed circuit TV picked him up driving all over town. The father. Yeah, they didn't arrest him because the father just didn't say anything else. After that, they just haven't answered any questions. So that child, who, believe me, nobody wanted because Jalik was damaged. They just, I mean, he's gone. Whatever, whatever. Kiron here was a smart kid. He was on accelerated learning and I think math. He obviously had some interest in science. I mean, that. Let me get to the last. Here it is. This is the last photograph. Here's his red-eyed tree frog. Look at that. He is 7 years old. Okay. I have had 4 children in elementary school science fairs. All right. I have done projects that I told my kids to get out of the way. I'm doing this project. And I could not make anything better than he has just made there for his project. He was a smart boy. She was very outwardly. Yeah, well, I want to look back at it. I mean, her little bodybuilding shit. Bitch, will you stop? Bitch, will you stop? So this is the last photo. A smiling boy. He's got his CSI shirt on. Bless his heart. Just, he just got in the way of her, I guess, of her. How does she land? I don't know, Violet. I don't know. She is not an attractive woman. Even if we go back to her bodybuilding days, she's kind of fucking gross. But I mean, I'm sorry. I think female bodybuilding, I'm sorry, it is so ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. Even bodybuilders are ridiculous. But look at this dumb whore. She gave all that up to her bodybuilding, substitute teaching. He's all that in the back. You know what I've learned about a man, and I'm sorry, any man that watches this, but this I always talk about what my grandmother has told me in life, these little sayings. Here's what my mother told me in life. All right. You know how some mothers will say, oh, treat people the way you want to be treated, or I don't know. What are some cliche catchphrases? Anyhow, do unto others if you have to do unto you. All these nice little catchphrases. Here's what my mother taught me: a stiff dick has no conscience. She's right. A stiff dick has no conscience. That's the kind of mother I came right at me with the facts. Also, another one, and man, I'm not saying it, I'm just saying men in general. I found this was actually one of my British comedies one time. Stiff dick will take you where a loaded gun wouldn't. A stiff dick will take you places a floated gun wouldn't. I don't know what that means. Did she, Deborah? I don't feel bad then because that was my mother's, grain of advice that she gave me, and she's right. I mean, I'm like, she's right. So, a woman will always find some kind of man. It always happens. Uh, I don't know what the hell they thinking, but I mean, she might be a completely lovely person. I don't think so. We are both from Virginia. We just tell it like it is. My grandmother does it very nicely, but my mother just didn't cut through any of it. So, I've got 3 daughters, and I have imparted that, yeah, that knowledge onto them. Tell me, comes, oh, yeah, yeah. And then here's another one of my favorites. The only thing open after midnight are hospitals, jails, and legs. What is that? The only thing open after midnight, hospitals, jails, and legs. So I always had to be at home at 12:01, just not to get in any message. Anyway, sorry. All right. Um, thank y'all again for coming and listening to this nonsense that I serve up every Saturday night. I'm thinking next Saturday night, either it's gonna be the Circleville letters, and that is a weird one. If this has been on, if you remember Unsolved Mysteries, look up Circleville letters. These are some strange letters that showed up. Let me see. If you can look these up for yourself. Shit, hold on. I did not put half of it. Oh, damn, look. No, CIC is not it. Circle. Why am I not typing tonight? It's either going to be that one or George, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. And listen, if y'all want to do the Black Dahlia, we'll do it again. I will do it for a 3rd time. I do not care. Right? I do not care. We can do it. Give me 2 weeks, though. Give me 2 weeks on the Dahlia. I say that because I do have a folder, but I also have all of the shit over there that that made me crazy when I was a kid and working so hard on my damn shitty project. I know. I got a C one time on. All right, so here in our, we're in Virginia, so our kids had to do a little thing of Jamestown, right? A little replica, right? First kid learned the hard way. Let me help you, right? I mean, second kid, I completely took the fuck over. Okay, don't even bother me right now, Devin. I'm doing your project. It's gonna be great. I know what they want. Third boy, I got a C. I got a C on my Jamestown. All I had to do was come downstairs and get the 8th Jamestown that I made 8 years before for Devin. I didn't do it. And I thought, oh, we ain't going to do that again. So when Catherine did it, oh, yeah, we did it up. Oh, we did it the hell up. I think I might even have gone to Jamestown and dug up actual bones. I don't even know. I know I went out. I went out with a damn A. It was the last time I had to do it. Anyway, let's do, if y'all want to do Black Dahlia in 2 weeks, I'm 1,000% down for it. Do your own research. You can come up on the panel. You do not have to cam up. You have your little thing. It's so easy to do if you've never been on a panel. Easy peasy to do. And we can get all the different kind of, who y'all think did it. There's so many possible suspects. And like I said, the facts don't change. We have the facts. that don't change. It's everything else that changes. So, um, we can do it. You know, Merit women. Is that a person? I mean, obviously it's a person. Duh. H All right, I'll look that up. I have these things. You know, I told y'all this ratty ass piece of paper that I have all my ideas on. Well, shit. Get rid of her. Get rid of that bitch. I have this ratty ass sheet of paper that I carry around. There you go. I should have done that. I should have let it. I should have done it. I should have done it. But yeah, when I got a C for Vaughn's, I'm like, this is wonderful. Vicky, thank you. I mean, thank all y'all for coming and for the chat and for the fun. And you know, we do have drama here, but it's not drama that it's gonna hurt us. We have good drama. We have good drama. My 300 that come in here and watch this later, thank y'all so much. I appreciate you so much. So I'll figure out what I'm doing next Saturday, and then the next Saturday we'll start doing the Dahlia. We can do that. I might do a poll. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We have a minute. I enjoyed y'all being here. So thank y'all. And I will see you next week when we'll be doing something. I just don't know yet. And then we might do the Dahlia. All right. Have a great night. Be careful. Hey, Kathy, be safe. And I will see you very soon. Look for a parody. Maybe this week. I don't know. I got to find a ratty ass wig. Shouldn't be hard. I am in Lynchburg, Virginia. It will not be hard for me to do. I will see y'all. I'll see you soon. And I love you and thank you, everybody. I appreciate you more than you know. Bye.